SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
In the headlines, CTAWU General Secretary satisfied with settlement payments for Scotiabank workers, which will be made tomorrow. Guyana's acting Chief Justice throws out an application by the opposition to get the court to force the cabinet to resign. Britain and EU strike Brexit deal after days of intense back-and-forth negotiations. And in sports, CWI says it still has a place for Haynes and Reefer. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV's Evening News and Sports.
That was the news headline sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Good evening and welcome to the SVG-TV News and Sports for Thursday, October 17th. I am Khalil Kato with the details. General Secretary of the Commercial, Technical and Allied Workers Union, Joseph Burns-Bonady, said that he is pleased and satisfied with the settlement reached for the outstanding overtime payments for Scotiabank workers here in SVG. The staff members are to receive their payments owed for the last 6 years tomorrow.
Very much so. And we came to a good agreement, and of course, the way I operate, prior to agreeing to what the bank would have proposed, I would have had to put it to the employees. I could tell you is that those persons who were employed with the Bank of Nova Scotia and would have retired, all of those persons will be in the would be paid. The bank would be calling those individuals who would have exited the bank to include them. It will be over 30 plus persons who would be in the bargaining unit, and you have to add now those who would have retired and having worked to the age of retirement. They too would be entitled.
Republic Bank Holdings Limited is expected to take over the operations of Scotiabank SVG at the end of this month, and according to Bonady, all staff have been retained, which was part of the agreement, and they are now being prepared for new management.
And we had already discussed prior to that the change of uniforms and that sort of thing for the staff, and we had agreed previously with the bank that all employees who are presently employed will continue to work with the new bank. And we had a meeting with officials from the new bank. I had the meeting with the shop stewards and the representatives of the workers, and they reaffirmed and confirmed that arrangement is in place.
Bonady said negotiations are, however, ongoing on behalf of some staff who left the bank after the announcement of the sale of Scotiabank.
For all sorts of reasons. People might get another job. People might want to have migrated from St. Vincent elsewhere. Some people went to study and they would have resigned from the bank. So I am in discussion with the bank on those matters because it is my understanding that some of those persons have not yet been called by the bank. But I know that some retirees have already been called, so the bank would have to notify those individuals.
The National Mediation Committee is hosting a week of activities to promote court-connected mediation in the state. One of the activities was a lecture hosted last evening at the French's House on the topic, "In the Middle of Difficulty Lies Opportunity." Justice of Appeal Gretel Thorm said that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the only Eastern Caribbean country that has an extensive awareness program on mediation, which is laudable and timely.
Fortunately, it has not been as successful as we at the court had hoped it would be. And so we decided we needed to make a fresh start. And we started with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because St. Vincent and the Grenadines was one of those jurisdictions that the numbers, when we looked at the numbers of successful mediation sessions, St. Vincent was not really high up on the list. And so mediation was one of those jurisdictions that St. Vincent and the Grenadines was one of those jurisdictions we think we needed to target. And I must say, so far, everything has been working perfectly in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Regional Mediation Coordinator Francis Compton, who has decades of experience in mediation, delivered the lecture last evening. He outlined the importance of mediation and said more can be done for mediation and mediators locally.
Having a meeting like this is not something new. We have tried. For instance, we were hoping, I came here sometime last year, and the intention was to do a refresher training program. And I had a list of the persons who were expected to attend that refresher training program. And two of us came from St. Lucia to conduct the two-day program. It was very, very poorly attended. I can also tell you that we have discovered that it ought to be useful for mediators and lawyers to meet together as a group from time to time.
The Regional Mediation Coordinator also spoke on the issue of having more suitable accommodations for mediation across the Eastern Caribbean countries, including here in SVG.
Problem in St. Vincent with adequate space to house and to hold mediation sessions. It's uncomfortable for the lawyers who come there, it's uncomfortable to the parties who come. But this is what we have, and we have to do with it what we can. Recently I visited St. Vincent again. I think I was on my own business. I came here on a holiday. And I actually visited the mediation room. Now, it's not your fault or my fault or anybody's fault. It's a general malaise we have in the OECS or in the Caribbean. And I visited 3 rooms, and I suggested one of them could be better suited for mediation because of size, this, that, and the other, and so on. So that we would make the room, refresh the room. The room has electricity, it has air conditioning, but it's cluttered. And it's a question of getting a couple of prisoners. I don't know if they still do that in St. Vincent. No, some people pay a couple of dollars a day to get 2 laborers to come and clear the place. It doesn't need to be repainted or anything like this, but the clutter to remove it.
Meanwhile, a mediation and legal aid clinic was held today for members of the public who are being encouraged to consider mediation, first to settle their differences in any matter that is already before the court. As we hear in this report by Larissa Pugsley-Kidd, mediation not only increases the control the parties have over the resolution, but it is also considered confidential and cost-effective.
Persons took advantage of the mediation clinic and legal aid today, hosted by the SVG National Mediation Committee at the Old Library Compound in Capital Kingstown, as part of the week-long activities to promote court-connected mediation in the country. Today's activity was a collaborative initiative with the SVG Bar Association. President of the SVG Bar Association, Rene Batiste, said that the activity afforded many persons free legal advice and referrals.
There are lawyers who are here to give legal advice to individuals. It is complimentary, it's free, it's pro bono, and also we are here with some mediators who will then be able to take some referrals for mediation. Now the mediation is in 2 types. You have court-appointed mediators. All of us are trained under the same program. We're all certified mediators, but there are those who applied and were appointed by the court as court-appointed mediators.
Chairperson of the SVG National Mediation Committee, Justice Esco Henry, said mediation is usually the first option to resolve disputes as the process is less costly than a court trial, with less time to get a hearing and a matter resolved.
We're always happy to see persons being assisted with getting quick resolution to their disputes. And along with that, the more informed persons are about their rights, the better the society is, because it engenders law and order. And unless people know what their rights are, unless people know how to go about resolving disputes, then we would not have fulfilled our mandate as an administration of justice system.
Mediation has been practiced in SVG for about 15 years now, and according to Regional Mediation Coordinator of the OECS Supreme Court, Francis Compton, it has not been promoted and practiced as they would like it to be, and they are hoping the awareness activities will help more persons choose mediation to settle disputes.
But thousands of persons do not know about mediation, and it would appear that many people are not concerned or don't care unless and until they find themselves in a position where they may need mediation services. A lot of people don't know about it. The lawyers don't seem to talk about it, but sometimes the lawyers seem to be coerced into having mediation sessions. But that's the factor of life we have to deal with throughout the OECS, not only St. Vincent's.
There are currently 28 court-connected mediators in the country. They were trained and certified to resolve disputes outside of the court. Reporting for SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley, Kidd.
Newly appointed resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme for Barbados and the OECS, Magdi Martinez Soliman, said he is looking forward to increased cooperation between this country and the organization. On his first day visit to the state, Soliman presented his credentials to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, followed by a meeting attended by members of the cabinet. The newly appointed UNDP resident representative was also engaged in various media outreaches, one of which was with SVG-TV News. The UNDP is known for providing grant funding in a range of areas, including to help build resilience against the impacts of climate change. Soliman said advocacy and networking are some of the ways which they are able to achieve their objectives.
Development finance so that they can afford to do what otherwise the budget would not permit them to do. Then we also connect them with partners who are of the same opinion, who have the same values, and who would help them either through technical assistance, expertise, or again through a good practice to do what they would like to see happening. So there's many ways in which we bring our ideas to come true. I'd say that the most important is the power of persuasion, the power of the good example that we have witnessed. That's why, because we are a network in the UN and we operate in about 150 countries, you always know about something interesting that has happened elsewhere in the Caribbean, or elsewhere on the Latin American continent, or elsewhere somewhere in the world, perhaps in another small island state that has experienced a good way of doing things. And in that way, we feed back to the network what we have learned through the network. And it's an interesting way to develop best practice and acquire good lessons learned.
Soliman said grant assistance is also available to local community-based organizations and NGOs, and highlighted some of the requirements to access these funds.
There is a program that exists in every single island of the Caribbean called the Small Grants Program, and it says it all. It's grants, but it's small. Small but quite nice, and it supports community-based organizations, NGOs, and civil society organizations that have initiatives that have to do with climate, but at the same time with productive ideas that generate income. So it is about jobs, it is about small business, it is about ideas that need that little push of an investment capital, of a venture capital, of a risk push to become reality. And at the same time, they are managed by civil society organizations. So yes, the answer is a big yes. And there is a small grants program here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
In recent times, several agencies, both locally and regionally, have put forward ideas designed to combat the effects of climate change. One of the ideas is the urban forest, put forward by the Forestry Department. Soliman said while cities in the Caribbean still possess more greenery than other places, the idea put forward by the Forestry Department is a good one.
Certainly more pleasant. It gives, if you want an economic argument, it gives value to the real estate. If you want a touristic argument, nobody wants to really walk in a polluted and dirty city full of concrete. They have that at home. What they want is to come to a quaint, well-looking city center where, the park follows the green area, follows the tree-lined avenue, follows the nice public building that you visit. So it is an asset from every point of view to have a greener city, and I think that is one of the objectives of good city planning, good municipal and urban planning. And I am not sure we are the best at that. We have a sister agency called UN Habitat who is very specialized on that. But I do see that there is a revival and an intention and a push by cities in the Caribbean to defend the way they used to be. More of a pedestrian city, more of a city for the nice walk, a city that encourages the shopping area, the stroll in the park, and certainly a better quality of life.
When we return to the evening news, we hear that local stakeholders are being encouraged to position themselves to take advantage of the opportunities to be derived from the SVG medical cannabis industry. Other stories and that when we come back after these messages.
News sponsored in part by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. When you walk through our doors, our work begins. From corsages, to flowers, to guest books, whatever you need to make that funeral a memorable one. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home, helping families preserve memories.
C-Star Limited is now located on the third floor of the first St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products to furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the first St. Vincent Bank building. And don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. C-Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
Breaking news! The greatest tile sale in the history of St. Vincent is back. With more, here's Thin Set Knit Rowdy Face.
Thanks, Juan. Yes, free tiles for Christmas is back at Island Style Interiors, and there's real excitement in the air. Get this. Buy 100 tiles at the regular price and get up to the next 25 tiles absolutely free.
Wow, that is a great deal.
Sure is, Juan. My wife's making me buy tiles right now before they sell out.
Vincent? Oh well, this is Juan Cool Guy signing off and heading to Island Style in Arnos Vale for free tiles! Wait for me! Yay!
Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo. Vinci. Everything Vinci Expo.
Come celebrate 40 years of independence at the Everything Vinci Expo 2019, October 24th to the 30th. Come see SVG's best products, services, and more on display at the Kingstown East Terminal. There's something for everyone. Kiddies Corner, themed entertainment nights, and delicious local food and drinks on sale. Everything Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo for we Vinci. Everything Vinci for the whole family.
For more information, contact us at 784-457-2159 or email everythingvinci@investsvg.com and follow us on social media. Vinci Expo.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Our 40th anniversary of independence gives us an opportunity to reflect on our progress and chart our way forward. What are our major achievements over the past 40 years? What critical areas do we need to address to further enhance our national development? Join our live program, The Viewpoint, Sunday, October the 20th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on SVG-TV and Magic 103.7, or view our live Facebook stream on SVG-TV and be a part of the discussion by calling the hotline 458-0088 or WhatsApp 530-8962. The Viewpoint, sharing our thoughts, speaking our truth. Moderator, Mr. Curtis King. Panel, Miss Idisha Jackson, social activist. Mr. Kirk De Silva, chartered accountant. Mr. Cecil Ryan, social activist. Sponsors, LA Unique Upholstery, Jake's Kitchen, the Cruise Ship Terminal, Joseph Da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, and Sun General Insurance, Inc. The Viewpoint.
Welcome back to the evening news. This country has the potential to be a major exporter of products from the medicinal cannabis industry, but hard, smart work must be done to seize the opportunity. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves as he addressed yesterday's opening ceremony at the Vinci Agri Expo 2019 at the decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport compound. The expo features all aspects of the local agriculture industry, including the Medicinal Cannabis Authority, which is responsible for regulating the SVG medical cannabis industry. PM Gonsalves said there is a wealth of experience, quality of water, and rich soil in SVG, which placed the country at an advantage over others seeking to develop a medical cannabis industry. The Prime Minister, however, noted that local stakeholders must not rest on their laurels.
It is Gaston, I say Gaston. So you know we make their beer down here now. I say, but how you can make beer with desal water? And you can't grow ganja just with desal water. Well, I know they collect rainwater. But we are available to supply them. Supply Barbados with medical cannabis and supply Antigua with medical cannabis, in addition to other places. Because we have a good history of growing it. Of course, they will try, and nothing wrong for them to try to make $1. But you see, why is it that we, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Saboto, we can't believe that because we have a history of growing it, that we're going to make the $1 because other people want to make $1 off of it too. So you have to work hard and smart.
Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar said the regional environment is constantly changing and local stakeholders have to keep up with these changes in order to take full advantages of the opportunities which will come when the SVG medical cannabis industry is fully developed.
I was reflecting on one of my favorite songs that speaks about the changing scenes of life. I looked at the police, the members of the constabulary, one standing and one on his bike. I recognize the grounds
of the once Iti Joshua Airport. And right outside the door, I see persons wearing a uniform stating cannabis on it. Now, if that isn't a change in scene, because few years ago, anybody associated with cannabis at the airport would have already been arrested by the police. And that is one example of some of the vagaries that we have to grapple with in the changing local, regional, and global environment as farmers and as policymakers.
Since yesterday's opening ceremony of the Expo, persons have been taking the opportunity to examine many of the elements of the local agriculture industry. As the agriculture sector continues to evolve, many stakeholders, including farmers, have been utilizing various forms of technology to help improve their production and productivity.
This is our turbidity meter. We measure the cloudiness of the water. That's what turbidity refers to. You may ask, why turbidity? Turbidity is quite important because based on the cloudiness of the water, it impacts on the amount of light entering the water and also the amount of heat that is retained in the water. And more turbid the water is, more heat would be retained in the water. And once you have more heat, then it speeds up the chemical reaction in the water, hence causing different imbalances in terms of your water system. It's one of my favorite. This is the Leaf Pack Stream Ecology Kit. This is basically done for investigating water and to look at whatever organisms may be present in your water system. So for example, we have mayflies, water beetles, chew flies, chew bugs, etc. So this is just depicting some of the organisms, macro and microorganisms that may be present in your water. Now the importance of this is that the presence or absence of an organism is indicative of the health of the water. So for example, if you have an abundance of a particular organism, let's say E. coli bacteria, then you know that there's a contamination of your water and maybe it may not be of acceptable standards. So this is one where we get to do it. And these are all the different apparatuses that we use to collect our organisms.
One in making any sort of pellet, you can use your combination of forages that you have, but for our purposes, we use these three. With these, we add to it mill feed, which is a binding component. We also use molasses. The molasses would be mixed with water. Basically, you combine these basic ingredients. You can also add things like vitamins, salt, even antibiotic if you so wish. The beauty about making your own feed is that you can formulate it. You can add whatever you think is needed for your specific animals, your specific purpose, and what have you. But basically, we have the three different forages that we have here. We mix it with mill feed, molasses. The molasses would be concentrated with water. Mix them together, and then we feed them through our pellet machine. They would enter here, and after a while, you get lovely pellet like this, which the animals do enjoy, and it's very nutritious.
We promote you use a VHF radio or a GPS, which is much better. You can plot the course back to wherever you started. So the compass is a kind of more old-fashioned way of navigating. So we try to keep up with technology. That's why we're promoting the GPS. So,
as I say, you can plot your way forward and back with this. Could you also plot spots that you want to do? Let's say you want to fish in a particular area.
It can do that as well. It plots your different fishing grounds. For instance, if you go to this area and you find a lot of fish there and you want to go back there a couple days down the road, this would store that location. So you can find your way back easier. Unlike the compass just gives you the bearings like north, south, east, west. The GPS is more precise to give you latitude and longitude, like an exact location. And the VHF too has a feature that can notify Coast Guard in the event of distress or any rescue personnel on shore. It is called GMDSS.
34 local teachers who have successfully completed their Bachelor of Education degree in the teaching of mathematics and language arts at the SVG Community College will be on the list of graduates when the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus hosts its graduation ceremony this Saturday, October 19th. A news release from the community college said 45 students began these franchised programs from the university in September 2016, and 42 wrote the final exam in May of this year. The college said it is very pleased that 34 teachers successfully completed their program in the specified time. 6 of them received first-class honors in teaching of mathematics, 25 upper second-class honors, and 3 lower second-class honors degrees. The college said it will continue to offer the franchise degree programs from the University of the West Indies, and this academic year, 52 teachers are pursuing studies in the 3-year part-time Bachelor of Education Special Needs Education program. The college is also offering a Masters of Education program in collaboration with the School of Education at the UWI Cave Hill campus in 3 options, namely Educational Leadership, School Counseling, and Language and Literacy. The current cohort of 33 teachers will conclude their studies in July of 2020, and a new cohort will be accepted in September. Guyana's acting Chief Justice throws out an application by the opposition to get the court to force the cabinet to resign. We have this from the region when we return after these messages.
That was a local news segment.
The Everready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs, and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Everready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Everready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Everready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, juicy, drink today. Juicy, juicy, same great taste. Juicy, juicy, the original drink. It's a Vinci Tang. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vinci Tang. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vinci Tang. Juicy.
Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo. Vinci. Everything Vinci Expo.
Come celebrate 40 years of independence at the Everything Vinci Expo 2019, October 24th to the 30th. Come see SVG's best products, services, and more on display at the Kingstown East Terminal. There's something for everyone. Kiddies Corner, themed entertainment nights, and delicious local food and drinks on sale. Everything Vinci Expo.
Everything Vinci Expo for we. Vinci. Everything Vinci for the whole family.
For more information, contact us at 784-457-2159 or email everythingvinci@investsvg.com and follow us on social media. Vinci Expo.
Still going to town for hardware? No, you don't need to. Pinchers Hardware in Pembroke. It's your one-stop shop for all your hardware needs. We stock building materials, blocks, sand, and stones. Also plumbing and electrical fittings. We have automotive supplies too. And to make things easy, we will deliver to your location. Come on in or simply call us at 458-7591 or 533-1576. We are open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pinchers Hardware, located in Pembroke, where quality meets price.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics. appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome back. In our news from the region, we hear that Guyana's acting Chief Justice, Roxanne Georges Wiltshire, yesterday threw out an application by the opposition People's Progressive Party to get the court to force the cabinet to resign in keeping with the passing of the no-confidence motion against the government. The Chief Justice, in her ruling, described the application by the opposition as vexatious and an abuse of the process of the court. We hear more in this news source. In this news source report from Guyana.
Pointing out that the matter was already taken before the highest court for Guyana and was rejected. She said she could not understand how it was expected that the lower court should deal with the matter now. The Chief Justice in her ruling said the pronouncements of the Caribbean Court of Justice and the orders made in the consequential orders judgment must be read dispassionately and objectively, adding that while the applicant may be dissatisfied with the conclusion of the Caribbean Court of Justice, he cannot seek to overturn or reinterpret that decision by filing an application before the High Court. Attorney Anil Nandlal, who filed the application, was disappointed by the court's decision and has indicated that he intends to appeal the matter.
And here it is. We have approached the court. There's a cabinet that's refusing to resign. And the Constitutional Court of the country is telling us that because the CCJ did not make that order, then forever we are in perpetual error. In other words, the doctrine of precedent and the doctrine of stare decisis are now superior to the Constitution of the country. The Constitution is the supreme law, not no ordinary principle of stare decisis or doctrine of precedent. Those are elementary, very low-rank principles. The Constitution is the supreme law of Guyana, and that unfortunately is not being upheld by the court. So this decision must be appealed in the interest of constitutionality.
Attorney General Basil Williams welcomed the ruling by the Chief Justice. He said the decision has restored the position of the rule of law in Guyana. Mr. Williams said since the CCJ had already determined the matter at the highest level, it was not fit or proper for the same application to be taken before a lower court.
St. Lucia's National Security Minister Herman Francis is committing to holding criminals who wreak havoc in that country accountable for their actions and supports all efforts intended to rid guns from the streets. Francis stated that the law is clear on individuals found in possession of illegal firearms. We hear more in this report.
Commending the Royal St. Lucia Police Force for their remarkable strides in ridding the streets of the guns, National Security Minister Herman Francis stated that their efforts have been going unnoticed. On October 8th, St. Lucia Police arrested 5 people and seized illegal guns, ammunition and marijuana in a major operation. The operation was conducted in various parts of St. Lucia, including Barbono, Grosselet, Marshall, Ancillary, Rodney Bay, Marigot, Dennery and Richford by 71 police officers.
Every time a police officer goes out there and he confronts an individual who is armed, that officer is putting his life at risk. And for persons to be arrested and then taken to court and bailed for $5,000 on the first occasion, it doesn't send the right message. I cannot tell the magistrate what to do, but the law is clear.
According to the law book in St. Lucia, anyone caught with an illegal firearm could be fined up to $10,000 or sent to prison for 5 years. He says that it's an offense that suspects of illegal firearm holders have to prove their innocence.
The police arrest you, you're brought to court, it's a firearm, all right? The magistrate can then send you to on remand and give you a specific time so that the police can test the weapon to see that it's a lethal barrel weapon. And within that time, if the police has not been able to get the information, then you can give the person bail. But to every minute, every time you bring this person to the court, automatically, so now the saying on the ground is, we don't care. Okay, we will get our guns because it's $5,000 bail. That is what it is.
Francis indicated that so far St. Lucia has recorded 37 homicides for 2019. The majority of those cases, he stated, guns are the weapon of choice. He spoke to the recent murder that took place in Dennery.
A young man, 32 years, taken to a secluded area and shot in his head. Okay? Information is that he himself was involved in something earlier. Again with a gun. The prevalence of firearms is too alarming in St. Lucia. We have to get the assistance from everybody. Civilians must tell us if they know who have the firearm. The police must go out there, risk their lives, get the firearms, and the judicial system must support us.
Francis says this is the only way St. Lucia could put a dent in the gun epidemic that currently exists.
Britain and the EU strike a Brexit deal after days of intense back-and-forth negotiations. We have this from the international scene when we return. Stay with us.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Search for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. Yeah. So play as much as you can. Monthly prizes to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 for a bet. Live your life with no regrets. Set for life. Did your day done set? Set for life. December 28th. Set for life. Check the lotto machine. Get set for 2019. Set for life. Live all of your dreams. Be a winner. Turn your own keys. Set for life.
This hurricane tip is brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean. Take photos of important documents and secure them in waterproof containers or bags. Make sure to include any insurance policies, property deeds, or mortgage papers.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Our 40th anniversary of independence gives us an opportunity to reflect on our progress and chart our way forward. What are our major achievements over the past 40 years? What critical areas do we need to address to further enhance our national development? Join our live program, The Viewpoint, Sunday, October the 20th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on SVG-TV and Magic 103.7, or view our live Facebook stream on SVG-TV and be a part of the discussion by calling the hotline 458-0088 or WhatsApp 530-8962. Viewpoint, sharing our thoughts, speaking our truth. Moderator, Mr. Curtis King. Panel, Miss Idisha Jackson, social activist. Mr. Kirk De Silva, chartered accountant. Mr. Cecil Ryan, social activist. Sponsors, LA Unique Upholstery, Jake's Kitchen, the Cruise Ship Terminal, Joseph Da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, and Sun General Insurance, Inc. The Viewpoint.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Carrez Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Carrez Distribution Limited.
As we go further afield this evening, we hear that the United Kingdom and the European Union have finally struck a new Brexit deal after days of intense back-and-forth negotiations, setting the stage for another major parliamentary showdown over the UK's bid to leave the bloc after months of political chaos. The UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who declared the deal a breakthrough, will still have to take the accord to a sceptical British Parliament for its backing on Saturday, and it is far from certain that it will pass. We hear more in this report.
Discussions over the past days have at times been difficult, but we have delivered, and we have delivered together.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, seen here leaving Downing Street Thursday morning, called the deal great and urged UK lawmakers to approve it. Johnson ally and leader of the lower house of Parliament, Jacob Rees-Mogg, also praised the agreement and said it keeps the UK in one customs union. But a note of caution, we've been here before, with previous PM Theresa May. Johnson now faces the same difficult task of getting his deal through the UK's Parliament on Saturday. He'll need 320 votes to get it ratified. If that fails, another Brexit delay could be on the way. Opposition leader Jeremy Corbyn called the deal worse than the one negotiated by May. That failed to get through Parliament 3 times. The Democratic Unionist Party, which has a potentially crucial 10 votes in Parliament, is also concerned the deal could cut Northern Ireland off from Britain. In the run-up to Thursday's EU summit, negotiators worked day and night to reach a compromise on the Irish border issue. But DUP leader Arlene Foster named 3 sticking points earlier: customs, consent and VAT issues. Some politicians may remain to be convinced, but markets rallied at the breakthrough. Sterling surged more than 1% soon after the deal was announced. Thursday's agreement sets up another dramatic few hours for the UK on Saturday.
Well, that's the news for this evening. We have sports just ahead, but before that, we take a look at tonight's local weather forecast.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Carrez Distribution Limited.
You like doing laundry, right? Nah, I didn't think so. The stains? Oh, nightmare. Thanks to the new Tropic Fresh laundry detergent, doing laundry is now hassle-free. Tropic Fresh removes dirt, cuts through stains, leaves your whites whiter, and your colors brighter. Tropic Fresh has antibacterial agents that kills germs present in your clothing. It's gentle on hands, and the smell? Longer, fresh fragrance. Available in original and lemon scents and in various sizes. Tropic Fresh laundry detergent. Agents and distributors, Carrez Distribution Limited.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentions for years with their high prices. Then came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bevin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bevin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bevin every time.
The local weather conditions for this evening are currently cloudy with rain and thunderstorms. Winds are calm, temperature 24.0 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 91%. The barometric pressure 1011.4 millibars. 24-hour rainfall measured 37.9 millimeters. Today's maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius, the minimum temperature 25.2. Sunset today was at 5:44 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:55 a.m. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy with pockets of moderate to heavy showers and thunderstorms. The synopsis says a tropical wave is crossing the islands.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Bevin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bevin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bevin every time.
A funeral is considered as the last goodbye. The memories are for you, the family and loved ones. Joseph the Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home sympathizes and understands the grieving process. They go the extra mile, offering counseling, private funeral, chapel service, night viewing and church service, along with other services expected at a professional funeral home. Visit the office at Mesopotamia. A warm, modern, and customer-friendly environment awaits you. Joseph the Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, offering affordability in time of need. We are here. We care.
Our 40th anniversary of independence gives us an opportunity to reflect on our progress and chart our way forward. What are our major achievements over the past 40 years? What critical areas do we need to address to further enhance our national development? Join our live program, The Viewpoint, Sunday, October the 20th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on SVG-TV and Magic 103.7, or view our live Facebook stream on SVG-TV and be a part of the discussion by calling the hotline 458-0088 or WhatsApp 530-8962. The Viewpoint, sharing our thoughts, speaking our truth. Moderator, Mr. Curtis King. Panel, Miss Idisha Jackson, social activist. Mr. Kirk De Silva, chartered accountant. Mr. Cecil Ryan, social activist. Sponsors, LA Unique Upholstery, GX Kitchen, the Cruise Ship Terminal, Joseph Da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, and Sun General Insurance Inc. The Viewpoint.
Welcome to the evening sports. This evening we hear that unsuccessful challengers for the West Indies head coach position, Floyd Reefer and Desmond Haynes, will still have a role in West Indies cricket. That's according to Director of Cricket Jimmy Adams, who says the former cricketers are still valuable. Haynes and Reefer were beaten for the head coach post by Trinidadian Phil Simmons, who was also always considered that should be considered the front runner for the position. Speaking to the media earlier this week, Adams said that the CWI will still approach the legendary Haynes to determine his role, but made it clear that he would not be limited to functioning in the youth program.
Discussions will be had to see if there's a role for him going forward. I wouldn't limit it to just under 19s, because I think what Desmond, his knowledge of batting is something that could benefit far more than just the junior squads that we have. So it's definitely something that we'll be looking at going forward, Jeffrey.
As for Reefer, the director of cricket says his skill set is critical to the development of the youth program.
There are options available right throughout our high-performance system, and the discussions will be had with Floyd going forward. But he's somebody that we definitely see as one of our top young coaches, and we're going to be doing everything that we can to encourage him to stay within the system, okay, and to continue making contributions to the development of our young players.
Cricket West Indies has announced the appointment of Gus Logie as the interim head coach of the West Indies women's team, as well as the appointment of Everil Betty Lewis as the new team manager to replace Anne Brown-John, who was appointed as the lead selector for women and girls cricket. In a release yesterday, Cricket West Indies said Logie will take over the duties from Henderson Springer, who will continue to provide assistance to CWI's coaching education programs. Here at home in netball news, Island Blends Success Radio 2 defeated Sion Hill Government School 17-6 in one of two opening matches played yesterday in the Vitamalt Sion Hill Netball Championship at the hardcourt of the Sion Hill playing field. In the other match, Success Radio Netters 1 had the better of Grant Thornton Stars 36-29. We'll have more sports coming up for you after these messages. Stay tuned.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stars Pharmacy, Massey Stars Pharmacy, where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
26 retail shops and restaurants open now for your convenience. At the cruise ship terminal, at the cruise ship terminal. It's a great venue to run for functions, secure parking, great and beyond. At the cruise ship terminal.
Convenient parking at the Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal and the Geese Compound. The Kingstown Cruise Ship Terminal has 26 retail shops and restaurants with a variety of food offerings. A great secure venue for your function with a great ambience. Also, we offer lock storage service. The Cruise Ship Terminal. Convenience for you.
At the Cruise Ship Terminal. The Cruise Ship Terminal.
Again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome back. Brownstown United and Desco played to a 2-all draw in yesterday afternoon's Group B encounter in the Hyrule National Lotteries Authority Northeast Football League at the Chile playing field in Georgetown. Keithron Pope scored both goals for Desco, while DeAndre Quashi and Shaquan Joseph scored a goal each for Brownstown United. The league will continue tomorrow afternoon at 4:15 when Sparta FC tackles Greggs in a Group B match also at the Chile playing field. And in Stubbs, in the third quarterfinal of the Sagicor Hyrule Southeast Football Championship, Sagicor Bonham and Volcanoes played to a 3-all draw at the Stubbs playing field. Shandell Samuel netted 2 of the goals for Sagicor Bonham, with the other goal scored by Joan Miller. The goals for Volcanoes were scored by Mazik Herbert, Jaheim James and Augustus Adams. Due to the darkness at the time, the penalties will be taken tomorrow afternoon. At the same venue this afternoon, Brotherhood FC would have taken on Bonham Ghetto Stars in the last quarterfinal game. And that's how we end sports for this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Search for Life is back again. Your favorite game. Win house and land. SUV plus 50 grand. 50 and 25 grand. Second and third prize in your hand. So play as much as you can. Monthly prizes to be won. Set for life. A brand new house. Set for life. A brand new car. Set for life. $10 set for life. December 28th, set for life. Check the lotto machine, get set for 2019. Set for life, live all of your dreams. Be a winner, turn your own keys. Set for life.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at QCare Pharmacy. QCare leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. QCare Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
And now we take a second look at the headlines for this evening. The CTAWU General Secretary satisfied with settlement payments for Scotiabank workers, which will be made tomorrow. Guyana's acting Chief Justice throws out an application by the opposition to get the courts to force the cabinet to resign. Britain and the EU strike Brexit deal after days of intense back-and-forth negotiations. And in sports, CWI says it still has a place for Haynes and Reefer. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I'm Khalil Kato. Remember, you can visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news for daily headlines. And also remember to tune in for SVG-TV's News in 15 at 12:45 p.m. on weekdays. Have a good evening.
The big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. Then came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
This hurricane tip is brought to you by CIBC First Caribbean. Make sure you have food, water, medicine, important documents, and cash in your survival kit.
Once again, the countdown has begun, and time is running out. Shop at Courts today and make this season even more epic with the latest in electronics, appliances, stylish furniture, and so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Our 40th anniversary of independence gives us an opportunity to reflect on our progress and chart our way forward. What are our major achievements over the past 40 years? What critical areas do we need to address to further enhance our national development? Join our live program, The Viewpoint, Sunday, October the 20th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on SVG-TV and Magic 103.7, or view our live Facebook stream on SVG-TV and be a part of the discussion by calling the hotline 458-0088 or WhatsApp 530-8962. Viewpoint, sharing our thoughts, speaking our truth. Moderator, Mr. Curtis King. Panel, Miss Idisha Jackson, social activist. Mr. Kirk Da Silva, chartered accountant. Mr. Cecil Ryan, social activist. Sponsors, LA Unique Upholstery, GX Kitchen, the Cruise Ship Terminal, Joseph Da Silva Senior Memorial Funeral Home, and Sun General Insurance, Inc. The Viewpoint.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Get the best in TV entertainment with 139 channels, 26 in HD, and HBO included. Plus get 80 local Flow landline minutes to enjoy on evenings and weekends. All for $225 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.